eForMarketWizards.com. It's 10 minutes of 6 o'clock on Sunday night, just before the open, the 8th of October, 2023. Finding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. All right, a quick run through of some of the charts I looked at this weekend, particularly this monthly chart caught my eye. Support target we had at 42.25 and a quarter to 37 and a half. Obviously, we hit that this week. We're able to hold it. We had a pretty good downtrend line, and we broke that on Friday. So this is a chart that I'm going to keep an eye on. It's a monthly chart, and certainly, I don't know where we go from here. I don't think too many traders do, but those that will swear they know where it's going, then good luck. Follow them. For me, I want to see how things react in the next couple of days. And as usual, we will be looking to see if we can take something out of the market in the hit and run type trading during the RTH hours. So this monthly chart, pretty important, gives a range 123 points right now for the month for ES. And let's take a look at a couple of other charts. This is a Sigma chart, and I put an envelope around my Sigma charts, especially longer time frames, but short term, you can really see the power. And this was an idea I got from J.M. Hurst in his work, where he has his nesting ideas of different time frames. But this will tend to smooth out the situation. So even though we'll go a little below it or a little above it, it's still going to give you a clear area. This is acting more like a Keltner on Friday. This was the pivot that I had suggested that you should pay attention to if you're trading ES. It turns out we had an indecision bar right here and then blew out from there once we took out that pivot. So very important chart, and this will tend to balance out sigmas as we go from, oversold to overbought ideas, and that changes with days and weeks and so on. But by and large, this envelope that I put around this chart tends to contain the market very nicely. And this is a chart that I pay attention to because it's the Bible as far as I'm concerned with giving me pivots that work. This is our directional pivot, what we just talked about, this 29, 42, 96, 88, and above it, the market is trying to get long, below it, trying to come back to this side. And we can see this 42, 38 area that was very near that 35 to 25 we just talked about. And so far that support is holding for now. And this was quite a jackrabbit. So we remember things like that 44.14. Remember Anthony was talking about that a couple of weeks back. And so these ideas tend to get revisited. We need to remember these major ideas. That's the top of the box. If that gets violated, then we need to do a frame shift where we just take this and flip this up 50%. So for now, that's the box that needs to be resolved before anything else. And obviously, this is the big pivot in this setup, the 43.75. And this is a yearly chart, which, as I've said to others, we're still on an inside year. We can see, and let's face it, we're, come on, we're about a year away from those lows where, we took off last year and we bounced from. So we've been bouncing for a year, really, with all the ins and outs. We're still inside last year's range. And this is the print high I've got, not the contract high. And we can see this pullback was a 40 back, right? And I call it a 456. 40 back has been hit, not the 50 yet. That's that 24 and a half area that I was recently talking about in this video. The 60 back would be down here, 41 and 22s. So for now, the 50 back has not been hit, and it is still support, and we're bouncing. And we need to understand what happens on any retest, because we've got moving averages coming down, and we've got this platform that was violated, and all these traders were trapped. So position traders there that wanted long side, some of them will be giving it up just to get out of the pain that they've been in. At least that would be my thinking. So this is a very important chart, and these lines in between are half spans of that box. So the same color is the top box, and then this is what I call box 7, 6, box 5, box 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we can see really where this double down here held, and so far that's been off to the races. Very important chart, in my opinion. SBS is side by side with the previous year or month or whatever you do. It's whatever you. And this is a weekly chart, and we can see how important this is. Not quite back to the middle. We've got overhead resistance that either holds or doesn't as we bounce. And we can see in this framework just how important this chart is in terms of being able to hold this middle. And if we got a bounce back here to that 29 area, that would be what I call the 842. So it would be up 8, come back 4, and then bounce 2. So this would be a 50 back, and then this would be a 50 back of that swing. First objective right here is to get above 43 and a quarter, 43.27, and hold it and stay up here. So that's one way I like to analyze all of my time frames the same way. Just easier to be consistent. And I think this is a very important chart that we cannot overlook. This is a gap chart. This is 107 points for the day. And I think that this is a very important look at potential gaps. This is obviously where we close. We've got another gap up here. 71 is the has to get taken out to get into that space that has not been violated to get to the 82.75. 44.18 and a half is this very significant area. Above that, then traders down here start to get squeezed, and we do have a gap here identified, 44 and a quarter. We have another breach up here at the 45.40 and a half. Above that opens the door up here to that 45.57.75. I am a technician through and through. I'm not one of those traders who just throw spaghetti against the wall. I think it's going along. I want to do my homework. I don't care what anybody else's homework says. My homework is what's important to me. I'll listen to other people and listen to their opinions, but I still want to use my charts and my method of analyzing before I put on any trades, because I know that I can act and trust it. And I know if I'm wrong to get out rather than just using someone else's opinion who may not have put the time in I did this weekend looking over all my charts, NQ as well as ES. So these are the type of things that we'll be studying for those people who choose to join us if we run a session coming up. Hope you're one of them. In the meantime, this is E for MarketWizards.com, wishing you a blessed day, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend.